Carefully stepping through the brush of the forest, Sakari scanned the forest floor for traces of passerbys. She knew she had to keep down, away from the open spaces where she could be spotted. The fog had made her trek difficult at first, but now it had started to clear. She risked getting caught walking in the open. It had been several weeks since Sakari visited Priest Dianasi, and she had not left her village until now. She was doing her best to be punctual with her daily prayers as an Orthodox Christian, while also staying faithful to her Tlingit traditions. Sakari took cover behind an ancient-looking alpine tree and took a sip of water from her flask. Glancing at her supplies, she started to wonder if she was prepared enough for this adventure. Her brother had taught her everything she knew about the forest, but she didn't expect that she would travel so deep into the wilderness. It wasn't like her short trips with her brother near their village. Getting lost out here could mean death. Her father always said to her that her older brother was a hunter, not her. Women shouldn't do this, he would say. They should stay home, cook, and take care of what their husbands bring back to them. But the bond with her brother was too strong, and he enjoyed showing her the things he was good at. Sakari carefully continued through the dense forest and identified what she believed was the trail she was looking for. Suddenly, Sakari heard a loud crack of a large dry branch. She immediately ducked down. The sound of the broken branch echoed through the forest, and there was a fluttering of birds in the distance. Sakari looked down and saw that her clumsy feet had made the disturbance. She stood up with her arms down and heaved a sigh of self-frustration. The sun had passed midday and had started its descent towards the snow-capped peaks to the west. Sakari started to doubt if she would make it home before nightfall. During the night, the temperature would probably drop down to freezing, and the forest was not a safe place to sleep alone. To make things worse, she wasn't sure if she could follow her trail back to the village. Sakari remembered the awkward interaction with Maksutov when he strangely attempted to explain the name of Baranov Island. It was surreal for Sakari because to her, that island has another name and history. For her, Maksutov lived in the land of Shi, outside edge of a branch tribe's lands. She found the names that the Russians gave the lands strange. They didn't even consider the names used by the people who already lived there. When all hope started to fade, Sakari heard a familiar sound that replenished her hope. A gushing river was ahead, fresh with water from the melting ice caps of the nearby mountains. She rushed towards the sounds to refill her water supply. As she reached the last trees before the rocky riverside, she felt that there was an unknown presence behind her, but in desperation, she ignored her instincts. Sakari took a step out of the forest and was immediately grabbed from behind and dragged back into the bush. Her initial thoughts were that it was a predator or that she was gone for, but then she saw a hand forcefully covering, which confused her more. After a struggle, she glanced back to see who the attacker was. She knew the smile instantly. It belonged to her brother Atka. He removed his hand and motioned her to be quiet, and with the same hand pointed across the other side of the rocky river. On the rocks sat two grizzly cubs playing with each other. Her brother told her a long time ago that wherever you see cubs, there is always a protective mother nearby.